All right, what's up, people? Dude, I found one of these, not this one, but I found one like that where it's a social distancing one, but it's like where I work. Oh, dude, I have a funny story to tell you about my job, dude. This is hilarious. Dude, I'm outside because what I do is we close at 11. So I go outside, I buy my beer, 10:45, I buy my beer, I go outside, smoke a jack, make sure everything's good on closing the store. We don't have in-house security, so I'm basically in-house security. So I'm sitting there, and then like over the, over around the fucking right up the sidewalk, there's all these kids, and they're fucking like banging on. Basically, it's like a, how should I put this? It's metal steps. It goes like up like this, and then over like this. It's like, so it's two levels, and it technically goes into the store, but we don't use that door, so it's not like I can get in or anything like that. But they're just like jumping up and down on it, making a lot of noise. So I go over there. I'm like, dude, y'all need to chill a little bit. Y'all youngsters, man. And this one little kid gets up, and I swear to God, this dude was like this tall, right? He looked like a dude. I don't know if you follow wrestling, but he looked like a dude, Marco Stunt, just like a midget, right? He says, bro, I'm 19. I'm like, bro, you ain't no goddamn 19. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Y'all need to get home. Y'all need to, this it's getting late. What y'all doing out here like this? Why y'all making all this ruckus, right? So why from underneath the fucking stairs, right? This girl comes out. And I swear to God, this bitch had to be like 15, 16 years old. She was young. And she was trying to fight me. And they're holding her back. And it's like six dudes. And they're trying to hold her back. And every time I try to like walk around, like I'm trying to get away from the situation, because I keep telling these motherfuckers, I don't fight girls. I'll fight any one of y'all niggas, but I ain't gonna fight her. And they're trying to hold her back, and she's just getting more and more angry. And they're like, dude, she's on something. Yeah, she was on drugs, dude. And when I say drugs, I mean she was probably on some shit like some PCP. Because I even told them, motherfuckers, I mean, you ain't on weed, you ain't on Molly, you ain't on LSD, you ain't on something that's gonna chill you. You're on some fucking crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it ended up with, no bows being thrown, even though every now and then because I said, it was like six dudes. Even though not one of them could take me, but like six dudes on one dude that's going to be problematic. That's going to be blades coming out, because I no one guy can fight six people if they halfway know what the fuck they're doing. So every now and then one of them would kind of come around my back a little bit, and I'd have to fucking shift my six. And ain't nobody gonna be on my six. You feel me? I'm gonna have my back to a wall or something. You ain't gonna fucking get behind me and sneak me. And meanwhile, this crazy bitch in front of me fucking like fighting them to fucking get out of there. They're holding her back, and like, I'll fight you. God damn, bro. The fuck? But anywho, that's not what this video is about, even though it seems like that's what this video is about. Let's do a midterm 2022 analysis, post-mortem, dissection, etc. So I think this is probably the most failed midterm of any party ever. Because we all know what happens in midterm elections is that the opposing party gains massive amounts in both the House and the Senate. And that did not happen. Best case scenario, the Senate stays the same and we gain a slim majority in the House. And I say we, I'm not even a Republican, but whatever. The opposition party. Now, here's the question. Why did it happen? How did this happen? Because Biden is extremely unpopular. I think 77% of the country says wrong track. So how did this happen? How was he able to hold on to the Senate? And how was he able not to lose that much in the House? And I think this is a multifaceted question, but I'm going to start with the obvious. And the obvious is abortion. And, I made a video on this. I actually think it was a 2-part video. The first part is the longer and better part where I talk about my thoughts on it. I think they really underestimated, and I know the Supreme Court is supposedly nonpartisan and they're not involved in the political process because they're for life appointments and this, that, and the third. And yes, I do believe Roe versus Wade was bad law, but I think what was at the heart of that law was good. Meaning, first trimester, okay. Third trimester, no. Second trimester, leave that up to the states. I think that was the right decision. I don't really think there is a right decision on abortion, but I think that was good. But it was never codified into law. Then you got these fucking, what was his name again? Lindsey Graham, who's a faggot, so he doesn't have to worry about having it. Everybody knows Lindsey Graham's a fucking faggot, okay? Oh shit, am I gonna get taken down for hate speech for saying that? Fuck. He's a homosexual male, okay? He's not a faggot. A faggot's a bundle of sticks, by the way. Look it up in the dictionary. It's a bundle of sticks, okay? Lindsey Graham is never going to have to worry about having an abortion or paying for one or whatever the fuck, or supporting a woman after she's had one, whatever, right? He proposed a nationwide ban on abortion. That fired up the left. They're like, no, we can't have this. So that's aspect number one. And I think that's very important. I think that's the most important part. The second part I want to talk about is I want to talk about Donald Trump and how he's becoming unglued. Look, I like dude. I think he had a very successful 3 years as president. Only, China took him out in the 4th year with COVID. But we don't need to talk about that. China and the left took him out with the pandemic. I should say plandemic, but, I don't even know if we can say that. Who knows? This video's getting banned for 18 different reasons. Donald Trump's overstayed his welcome. He's attacking Ron DeSantis, who won by a landslide, by the way, and is looking stronger and stronger because he's just ignoring, dude. Ron DeSanctimonious. Come on, man. Just shut the fuck up. What's wrong with you, man? Why do you have to do that? What's wrong with you? You got some problem in your head that you got to fucking attack a guy that's like the most successful Republican on the planet at this point? No. He doubled down, tripled down afterwards, whatever. So... And then you got to look at, so Donald Trump becoming unhinged and like just proving the point of the left is like the whole January 6th thing, which was basically nothing, but they want to make it like it's the end of democracy. I don't think that whole argument was very persuasive, but I do think the fact that a lot of these people that were running, and I'm going to mention too, one of these races is still open, but I did make a video about this when I went down to, not to say bury my dad because he got cremated, but, pay my respects at his funeral. I made a video on Herschel Walker. Terrible candidate. This guy, you talk about John Fetterman. I think John Fetterman won because, well, he lied. Nobody knew, because this is the problem with early voting. So, like, nobody knew he had a stroke. So those votes were already in for this guy. And he was very charismatic originally. Until he had a stroke. He was a very charismatic guy. He dressed like a normal person. He wasn't all suited and tied up and shit. And he was running against, and this gets to this is the point I'm making, bad candidates. You got Dr. Oz, who's basically, he was endorsed by Trump, but he's basically a liberal. He didn't get no Republican support because he was one of the first people to promote the transgender. You feel me? Everybody remembers that. So he didn't get no turnout. Nobody was voting Dr. Oz. And everybody already voted for Fetterman. And that was still a close race. But then you get to Herschel Walker, and this guy can't even speak either. He's fucking retarded. He's got like a billion conspiracy theories about like everything. He's a dum-dum. And like, that's the guy you want to run. He's running against a candidate, an incumbent, Raphael Warnock, who ran his wife over, dude. How are you going to lose that election, bro? He technically lost. Herschel Walker lost, but because nobody got to 50%, they got to do a runoff. So get the libertarian spoiler out the way and have Herschel Walker lose properly. If you can't beat a man that ran his wife over, with a car. I'm not talking about he ran her over like he was running and like he hit her and like she fell down. I'm talking about ran her over with a car. You can't beat that motherfucker in a race. You fucking retarded. Which Herschel Walker clearly is. I mean, he clearly had too many head impacts when he was playing for the Dallas Cowboys. But we traded him. We got the whole draft that year. It was so fucking glorious. That's when we got, you know, I think we got Aikman a year later. We got Irvin. We got Smith. When we put the team together, we won all them Super Bowls in the 90s. We're looking pretty good this year at 6-2, but we got Green Bay today, so that should be fun. But hey, man, we got my man Dak Prescott back, so it is what it is. And our defense is playing awesome at this point. But so no, that's my dissection of the election. Abortion, dude, did that? Women vote, dude. Women and old people vote. Okay, I'm just saying. And I know, Lindsey Graham, you screwed the pooch by trying to bring that bill up. Supreme Court, y'all should have just left Roe v. Wade alone. It was settled law. I mean, even though it was bad law, it was still settled. But no. And then just the dumb candidates, the candidates like, you know, I remember that one candidate, I forget what the fuck her name was again, but this was like years ago. This was like maybe 8-10 years ago. Christine something, I forget what the fuck her name was, but she was like, I'm not a witch. This was a Republican candidate who I guess back in the day she used to be a Wiccan or some shit like that, and she had to come out and say, I'm not a witch. And that I think it was on Bill Maher or something like that, and it just destroyed her candidacy. It's like, and then you keep bringing up the Sarah Palins and just these weirdos, these fucking people that are huffing gas, dude. It's like they're fucking like they're breathing bad fumes or something, or their minds just don't work correctly. We need to address the fucking. That's why when you look at somebody like a Ron DeSantis, or you look at somebody like a Glenn Youngkin, or even, and I think Kerry Lake is going to win in Arizona once all the votes are counted. But when you look at these strong candidates that, you know, I'm not even going to say Marco Rubio. I mean, he won, but, you know, he's Cuban in Florida, so he's like, you know, he's good. The point being is when you have these strong candidates, they win. But when you pick these fucking like, even what the fuck is her name again? I forget what the fuck her name is. There's a lot of these people. The Republican Party, I think, picks them either because of their name recognition, like Herschel Walker or Dr. Oz, or because they're pretty girls. You know, like there's a couple of them out there, like Lauren Boebert or whatever. I mean, these people are psychos. They have like their ideas are like so fucking, they're twisted, man. It's like they don't even have their head on their shoulders properly. It's like their head is like a little bit like 80 degrees off center, and it's just like they constantly look at the camera the wrong way and shit like that. I mean, I don't know, man. If you lose to John Fetterman, Dr. Oz, bro, you're done. You lost to a stroke victim, bro. A guy that needs a fucking computer to fuck. He's like this generation Stephen Hawking, except without all the fucking Nobel laureates and whatnot, you know, without all the PhDs and shit. You know what I'm saying? This guy can barely fucking form a complete sentence. And he's in for 6 years, bro. That's the thing about the Senate. The Senate's the longest term, except for the Supreme Court, which is for life. But he's in for fucking 6 years, bro. You're going to have to deal with that motherfucker. Unless he has another stroke that's fatal, in which case, you know, once you have one stroke, it's more likely you'll have another. But I'm not wishing ill on anybody. I actually felt bad for John Fetterman when I saw him in that debate. I was just like, oh my God, this is pathetic. This is pitiful, man. I want to go up there and give him a hug, dude. He's just like struggling and stumbling and shit. Like, he still won. So, like, dude, that's my analysis. That's my breakdown of the fucking midterms. I think the Republicans, they basically, what they did was they lost a race they should have won. Not a race, but it was multiple races. But it was like they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, in other words, on multiple levels. First of all, the abortion thing, wrong. You alienated 50% of the fucking population by doing that, because not every woman's going to have an abortion, but the ones that want to have that possibility open to them are going to definitely be out there voting, right? So then you alienated 50% of people. Then you put up a slate of fucking candidates that were fucking piss poor. Unless, man, hey, man, if You want a guy that you can hand a football to and run up the middle. Okay, vote Herschel Walker. But if you want a guy that fucking like has a head on his shoulders and shit like that, knows what the fucking like definition of the word is, it ain't that guy, man. He's into all kind of weird conspiracy theories. But anywho, yep, that's it. 15 minutes. Damn, bro. Don't report this video. I'll be following you. I'll be watching.